What is up, guys? It is Zane here, and today I'm gonna be giving you guys my most secret, best tips for Serum and Vital Synth. So let's just get straight into it, okay? My favorite thing to possibly do that you probably already know is gonna be pitch modulation, okay? So on Serum, it's like right here, and that sounds really bad, so we're gonna slow it down, but what you can do that's really cool, okay? So you can make stepper sequences like this, so you can make, like it'll automatically go up and down, which could be nice for some effects, or you can, smoothen it out so it's more like, okay, I'm sorry for this really bad sound, but yeah, on all of them there's like these little things you can automatically choose, and you can just, set it to the pitch right here. And you can get like, some sound effects going. This is how a lot of things were probably made at one point in life. They would just do like crazy pitch modulation type stuff. So that's my favorite tip number one. Another thing that a lot of people like to do is, hold up, let me get this, a super nice pluck. A lot of people are starting to use like these randomize type knobs. So yeah, in Vital it's really simple. You can just drag a random thing onto whatever you want, and then it'll just automatically adjust it. The only thing I don't like is obviously that it's random. I mean, it's gonna be random every time from what I know. Maybe there's a mode that allows you to like have it so that it's the same every time, but yeah, it could be annoying if you're rendering something out and it's just like a new thing every time, or it could be a good thing. It's up to you. And in Serum, it's under this like matrix knob under global chaos, and then you can tie something. So it is more annoying on Serum, but it does exist. Now I need to give you guys my most favorite tip ever. Okay, this is what's gonna make you from basic sound designer to like high level intellectual. Okay, so in Vital, I really love just messing around with this type of drawing of the wavetables, okay? Because having a good wavetable is what's gonna separate you from like basic to good, okay? Because everyone's gonna be using the same old like initialized saw. Everyone's gonna be using the basic, whatever square waves, but if you're experimenting with your own custom thing, it's just gonna be different, it's gonna be unique, and no one else is gonna be able to have that. And on top of that, you're gonna be wanna messing around with the LFO. You're gonna wanna put it on like, these types of things. In Vital and Serum, there's different type of modulations you can do. Like you have all these like smear, vocode. You can even low pass, high pass if you want to make it more of a gentle sound. And then you also have, the basic FM type stuff where you can resample it and all this like crazy type of stuff. In Serum though, I don't really have as much fun drawing wavetables. I mean, maybe we can freehand it or something, but I don't know. It's just like not as intuitive. But there is a lot of like cool little morphing type stuff you can do, I guess, just to like spice things up if you want to. You can also adjust the things up here to like mess around with your wave and all that stuff. Give it different harmonics. But usually what I noticed is the more like basic it's shaped, the more fatter it's gonna be, and the more like crazy modulation you put on it, the more it's gonna kind of sound like high pitched, almost like glassy. And this leads into my other tip, okay, is experiment at different pitch levels, because some things are gonna sound good as basses, some things are gonna sound good as like plucks or chords, so make sure you're testing everything out. So now I'm gonna be showing you guys some beautiful presets that I bought. So how are people getting these amazing presets? Okay, basically it's gonna have a lot to do with effects, okay? Effects are very important when you're creating your presets, but the most important thing I think is having like unique samples, okay? Because these presets right here that you're listening to are a combination of the sample. Like listen, and on top of using a sample, you're going to want to use as many oscillators as possible sometimes, okay? Not every time you want to have this crazy dynamic sound, but sometimes if you really want to have a unique texture that no one else is going to have, you're going to need to stack some things. And using up, your noise and your two oscillators and Serum is going to help a lot with that. And you can see these sounds also have quite a bit of movement in them as well. It's not just a basic, standing still waveform. It has dynamic range, and it has, unique beauty to it. And again, we can even go crazier, and we can add like some modulation if we really want to onto this. And we can just experiment and get something that no one else will ever have. Now, I will say, this is off topic, but for real guys, Serum and Vital are slightly limited. I mean, there's a lot of nice things you can do when it comes to these, like, you know, FMs, but at the same time, Serum hasn't gotten updated for such a long time, and Vital is newer, but I mean, look at all these filters, okay? They seem really unique and awesome, but at a certain point, like, there's only so much customization you can do. So if any developers are here, hit me up. I got like a billion genius synth ideas that don't even exist yet with sound design. Like, people are really lacking in the synth market who are developers and stuff. Like, there's so much stuff that has not been done yet. This is probably the best pluck I have made in a while, but the reason it sounds so good is because of this distortion right here. So having, you know, a little bit of mix in it, messing around with all these different things can give a unique flavor to it. And, you know, it's simple, but it just hits nice. It also has, you know, some pitch. This LFO is going straight to the pitch right here on both of them, so it's adding some unique little movement. But yeah, the filter is also gentle. Like, look at it, it barely moves up. And you could take it even further, like, if you really want, but I like having that nice little chill type of vibe, so mess around with that. But yeah, look at these beautiful presets, okay? What are they doing here to manipulate the sound? I mean, look at how simple some of these are. Mainly, it's a combination of everything. That's why you need to have all these harmonics going on. And of course, it's also the effects too. You can get some really good pads going on though in Vital and Serum if you get the right movement. If you don't know about additive synthesis, it's basically when you just have one sine wave and you manipulate it, and like this is almost a form of that. I mean, we have like one full thing, but it's just cycling through at unique pitches and times, and it's causing, you know, this like nice little, this pad-like atmosphere. But yeah, by far my favorite presets are the ones that have a lot of dynamic movement. And just editing things, mainly guys, I just want you to experiment, okay? That's the main point of this video, because you're not gonna have unique sounds if you're just doing what everyone else is doing, okay? So the more crazy you can get, the better. The more effects. This is another key tip, okay guys? I know effects are very important, and Vital and Serum have a lot of great stuff. You know, I love the Vital things. There is no hyper dimension in Vital, which kind of sucks. That's what I really like about Serum, this effect. I don't know, hyper dimension just sounds like really good on a lot of stuff, so I just enjoy that effect. But yeah, using external things will help a lot. I've made a lot of videos on a lot of crazy effects, but that's just gonna level up your sound design to another level as well. And it's gonna add uniqueness because, again, everyone has the same stuff. Everyone's starting with the initialized preset, and it sucks. So if you're using extra effects, if you're using extra, like, all these crazy things, it's gonna really be unique. EQing is also incredibly important to getting the right sound. You know, depending on what you EQ, you can, in Vital, you can, you know, have one EQ going to your second and third oscillator maybe, and then you can have one going for your main one, and that can just contribute to a lot of unique type of sounds. And you see, just putting this simple LFO on the pitch like adds a lot of like wobble dynamic to it. And delay and reverb is also going to add a lot of nice little movement if you want to mess around with that. My last main tip is just try to look at everything objectively now when you're listening to other types of music, and when you're creating your own sounds, like really try to imagine, like, okay, is there an LFO affecting something here? How is the pitch being affected? You know, like, as a goal, as an artist and a sound designer, like, you want to be able to just be as creatively free as possible, and you're gonna want to be able to make, you know, any sound that you want, and you're gonna be able to want to draw and, you know, do whatever you want. So the quicker you can start to like really analyze things sonically that you hear, and just, you know, understanding how everything affects your sound is going to be very important. You should know how every knob is going to affect your thing, and you should be able to like visualize it in your head, basically, like, okay, I have this sound I want to make, but I already know what I'm going to do right when I get into Serum. Like, that should be your max level goal when it comes to sound design and stuff. And not only that, don't limit yourself to just, you know, plucks, basses, and all this stuff. I mean, you can make sound effects, you can make pads, you can make, you know, all this crazy, unique stuff if you just, you know, who knows? You just gotta get in the DAW and experiment and see what happens. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys make some really good presets. Please follow your dreams no matter what. I'm really starting to just wanting to quit everything in life, but I'm not gonna give up. I hope that one day everything will pay off or something. But yeah, never give up, be strong, and let me know if you make any crazy sound design stuff or if you have your own synth stuff that you like to do. I'm very curious. I'm always trying to learn what's new and what's coming. But yeah, I definitely recommend trying out different synths. I mean, again, it's not fun going into a basic initialized preset every time, and it's not fun, you know, trying to find preset packs all the time, but there's a lot of synths out there that are gonna do things that Vital and Serum cannot, and they're gonna get different sounds and textures from every synth. I mean, Vital has its own way of exporting your, you know, saw waves and stuff, and Serum has its own little texture that it puts onto it. I mean, I like both of them, but, you know, sometimes I like Serum more, sometimes I like Vital more. You just gotta really get to know everything that you can. And my last tip is just, you know, adding your own mod knobs, okay? Make sure you're, you know, attaching your macros to stuff, because it's gonna just allow like you to have that extra customization when you're like doing stuff. So make sure you do that as well. But anyways, have a good life. Let me know any final tips you know about, please, if you know anything crazy. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you. I hate you. Bye.